She toiled alone in a murky workshop, barely managing with old tools and hardened hands. That wild night, when a worn-out driver rolled in, she gave help without delay. No cost, no trouble. She had no hint of his real self. Weeks later, a diesel engine's roar returned. But now it brought a gift that left her stunned, overwhelmed by a boon she never expected. Tap like and note your location below. Your support drives. More gripping tailies. Now, let's begin. Lily Harper's workshop was plain, nothing lavish. Just a small brick building off a silent road where moss trucks passed without stopping. But for Lily, it was her everything. Every nut fastened, every engine restored was a mark of years of labor. And devotion. She had a gift few could rival, honed over a lifetime with machines and grease. Yet business was slow, the town quiet, thoroughs rarely traveled, and her income just covered rent and gear. At 35, Lily carried a calm strength. There was a natural poise in her movements, a beauty not just outward, but born from grit and truth. Her face, framed by raven hair, often tied back, and her amber eyes glowed with purpose. She was used to long nights and tough days, and the storm raging only added to fuel on her soul. The rain poured steady, hitting the roof and windows. Inside TaleHook workshop, shadows moved over tools scattered on worn shelves. Lily wiped oil from her hands with a rag and caught the sound of headlights cutting through the storm's howl. A big rig pulled up outside. The engine coughed and stopped. A man got out, soaked and drained beyond words. He was older, his rugged face etched with stories of countless roads. His plaid shirt clung to him, wet from the endless rain. Lily opened the workshop door at once. "Come in. Get out of the storm," she called. The man softly gave his name as Samuel. Lily got to work, flashlight in hand, checking the stubborn engine. Hours passed under dim light as she fixed bolts, changed parts, and fought time and weather. No aid, no high-tech tools, just raw skill and strong will. When the engine roared alive, Samuel looked relieved. He reached for his cash, but Lily stopped him. "You've had a hard road. Just get home safe," she said softly. Samuel nodded, his thanks deep but unspoken. He climbed into his truck and faded into the night, rain hiding the Ristdale lights. Lily closed the door, the workshop's quiet settling in. Exhausted, she leaned on the frame, hope sparking in her heart despite the struggles ahead. The next morning, Lily woke to a sky still heavy with clouds, the air cool and sharp after the storm. The workshop smelled of oil and wet earth, a scent she knew well. She pushed the door open and stepped out, her eyes scanning the empty road. The night's visitor was gone, leaving only a faint sense of thanks she couldn't place. Days went by with the usual rhythm, small repairs, tired engines, and few clients who stayed briefly. Lily worked tirelessly, hands stained with oil, but her spirit held firm. She found comfort in the routine, the hum of tools, the scent of rubber, the steady beat of her resolve. Yet in quiet moments, a small hope flickered, lit by the memory of the Kosi stranded driver and his silent thanks. Her neighbors noticed the change. Mrs. Bennett, who ran the diner nearby, stopped by one afternoon with a warm smile and coffee. "You faced that storm like a pro," she said, eyes kind. "Not everyone would help a stranger in that weather." Lily shrugged, a faint smile on her lips. "I did what's right. No one should be left out there alone." Word spread slowly. Some drivers passing through spoke of the mechanic who worked through the storm for free. Lily ignored the buzz, focused on keeping her shop open day by day. One evening, as the sun sank, painting the sky with red and gold, she sat on the workshop steps, wiping sweat from her brow. Her phone buzzed, a message from a neighbor. "Check outside now." Curious, she stood and turned the corner, her breath catching. Parked beyond the gravel lot was a massive flatbed trailer, gleaming in thefting light. It carried new equipment, a hydraulic Lift, a full tool set, a top-grade compressor, all she'd only dreamed of having. A man in a delivery uniform stood nearby, smiling politely. "Lily Harper," he called. She nodded, heart pounding. "A letter for you," he said, handing a sealed note. Lily's hands trembled as she opened it. The words inside brought tears to her eyes. "My daughter ran a shop like yours," it began, "before illness took her. I saw her in you. I couldn't save her place, but I can help yours. Signed, Samuel Cole, Reader and Executive." For the first time in years, Lily felt the burden on her heart lift. Lily stood frozen, the letter shaking in her hands as the words sank. In Samuel Cole, the quiet driver she aided that stormy night, was more than a traveler. He was a reader and executive, a father who lost his daughter to illness and saw in Lily the same fire, the same spirit his daughter once had. His gift was more than tools. It was a lifeline, a new beginning. The delivery man waited as tears welled in Lily's eyes. She swallowed hard and spoke, voice thick with emotion. "Please tell him thanks from my heart's core." Neighbors gathered, drawn by the trailer and the hope in Lily's eyes. Mrs. Bennett from the diner stepped up, her face bright. "Lily, this is incredible. You deserve this." The days that followed were a wind. Lily's small workshop transformed quickly. The new lift made heavy repairs easier, and the high-end tools shone beside Herald wrenches, signs of a past she'd keep but was ready to move beyond. The compressor hummed with promise, filling the space with new energy. Lily paused one evening to view the changes. Her old tool sat by the new, a quiet tribute to every struggle and late night. She ran her fingers over a worn wrench's handle, used for years, a reminder of her journey and goals. Business slowly grew. Word of the upgraded workshop and its owner spread fast. A skilled mechanic with a heart as big as her talent. Drivers stopped not just for repairs, but for stories and coffee. The town's sleepy vibe began to shift, brought alive by Lily's fierce spirit and the gift that showed she wasn't alone. One quiet evening, as the sun sank behind hills, Lily stood outside her workshop, watching the road. She thought of Samuel Cole, the man who changed everything with own kind act. Sometimes she realized the smallest deeds, a hand offered in rain, a course to take no pay echoed louder than years of work. Lily wiped a tear and smiled. For the first time in years, the future felt full of promise. The weeks after were a rush of change. Lily's once quiet workshop buzzed with energy and purpose. The new gear changed her daily work. Repairs Thetans took hours, now finished with precision and speed. She no longer worried about old tools slowing her. Instead, each wrench turn was sharper, bolder. Clients came more often, drawn by word of mouth and the clear hum of a well-equipped shop. But beyond tools and business, what moved Lily most was the truth that kindness could come full circle. The memory of that rainy night, when she chose to help a stranger for nothing, had grown into a ripple of hope filling her days. One afternoon, as she finished a brake job in a dusty pickup, a familiar voice called from the lot. Lily looked up to see Samuel Cole standing by the entrance, a faint smile in his rugged face. "I wanted to see how you were doing," he said simply, stepping in. The years on the road had marked his face with lines of hardship, but his eyes shone with quiet pride. Lily felt gratitude rise within her. "Samuel, this place, it's changed so much because of you." He shook his head. "No, Lily, you changed it. I just helped you see your strength." They talked for a while about road life, loss, and hope, and the small deeds that mattered most. Samuel shared more about his daughter, whose spirit saw in Lily that stormy night. The sun sank low, casting long shadows over the workshop. Samuel stood to leave but paused at the door. "Keep this up. You're building more than repairs here. You're shaping a future." As he drove off, Lily watched his truck fade down the road, her heart full. Around her, neighbors and clients gathered, their smiles and greetings proof of the community she'd helped build. Lily wiped her hands and took a deep breath, looking at the lively workshop that once nearly closed. Now it thrived, full of promise and purpose. Sometimes, she thought, one Kindak could spark a lifetime of change. Months passed since that stormy night when Lily made a simple choice to help a stranger for nothing. Now her small workshop was a hub of activity and warmth, a place where work and kindness met to create something greater than either alone. Lily stood by the open workshop door one crisp morning, watching trucks come and go, their engine humming like a chorus of renewed hope. Air smelled of oil and fresh paint, but beneath it was a deeper sense of community, connection, and purpose. Samuel Cole's gift had done more than provide tools. It had restored Lily's faith in herself. Her skills, once overlooked, were now celebrated by drivers and townsfolk that she mentored young mechanics eager to learn, sharing not just skills but the truth that kindness could open doors no tool could. One afternoon, as the sun cast long shadows, Lily stood where she first helped Samuel. A letter sat on the counter, this time from a local trucking group, asking her to speak at an event about goodwill in hard times. She smiled softly, recalling the storm and the stranger who changed everything with own generous act. As the day ended, Lily wiped her hands and gazed at her thriving workshop. The flatbed trailer that brought her new tools stood nearby, a symbol of a turning point, of hope born from unexpectedness. Lily knew now that sometimes the smallest deeds could echo louder than a lifetime's effort. And for her, the road ahead was no longer unsure but filled with promise.